Welcome to Thinktech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm your host, Duke Oishi.
And I'm your co-host, Maria Kashem.
In our show this time, we'll meet the live stream video talk show hosts on Thinktech.
Here, as we move into a new year at Thinktech, we'll get their reflections, revelations, and resolutions for 2014. There are quite a few of them, and collectively they do 20 talk shows every week. As you'll see, they're an impressive group.
They come from all walks of life, from students to lawyers to nuclear engineers to tech, business, startup, and nonprofit entrepreneurs to professors, scientists, and researchers and futurists in academia and to theater directors and professional dancers.
So take a look at their reflections, revelations, and resolutions for the new year and see what you can learn about them, about Thinktech, and about your own experiences here at the beginning of a new year in Hawaii.
I'm the host for Thinktech, and I'm also the owner of SOS Tech Solutions. Part of my New Year's is, of course, to, lose weight and drink more water. That sounds all great, but really, it's all about personal development. I feel that every year should be better than the last one. 2014, I want to go out there and I want to help more people. I want to help more people with my products and services. I want to help more people just in general. And of course, the way to do that is to grow myself first. So part of my 2014 New Year's resolution is to become a bigger and better person. Part of that is taking on new challenges. Part of that is looking for opportunities where maybe I haven't looked before. And part of that is also looking for more people that I can help. Now that's part of it is mentorship, part of it is business, part of it is personal life, and part of it is actually family. How can I help my family better? How can I be a better person? So part of my New Year's resolution, I'm going to scratch that word off my list. I'm going to call it my New Year's promise. Part of my New Year's promise is to become a better person, is to do more for others, and really trying to make 2014 my best year yet. Because I think 2013 was pretty good, but 2014 is going to be even better.
Aloha, I'm Carlos Juarez, host of Global Connections, and our show is aimed at helping us understand and make sense of our interconnected and interdependent world. When I think back of this past year, 2013, it's been an interesting pattern of a lot of continuity, a lot of things we've seen continuing, whether it's the civil war in Syria, things happening in North Korea that have us nervous, lots of continuity, but as well a time of change. We see developments in many parts of the world, often reflecting just transformations going on. One of the things quite dramatic reflected in the so-called NSA leaks was the importance of new technologies and how it is affecting not just how we see the world, but how the world affects us all. When I think forward to this coming year, what kind of things can we expect? Well, we're going to be bringing you expert opinion and perspectives, fresh perspectives from a lot of new young leaders. So one of the goals of the program is to help us, share insights that people bring. And Global Connections is about not just bringing the world to Hawaii as we do, but also getting the world out there, getting Hawaii into the world. We have a lot of people with expertise here and insights that they can share, and we have a lot of people passing through that we always welcome to give their perspectives. So we look forward to a coming year. We know there will never be a dull moment in global issues, and so here at Global Connections, we're going to help inform you and give you a lot of food for thought.
Yeah, looking back on 2013, an area of reflections that really kind of surprised me a lot. I was doing some business in both Indonesia and in actually more than both, in Indonesia and in Vietnam and also in Japan this year. And I thought the economies in Indonesia and Vietnam were continuing to be strong and to strengthen, and that the boom would continue. And looking back on it, what I saw was the age-old problems of corruption had really been masked over, and that the future situation in both of those countries is now on a knife edge, and that troubles me a lot. But in Japan, I was very excited to see the rise of Abenomics and kind of the picture, the visual picture, if you will, of Japan starting to get up off of her knees after a whole generation of malaise and the whole Fukushima Tohoku knockdown, if you will. And so that was encouraging. The other revelation that I have for 2013 that it troubles me is that I never really understood the whole concept of red lines before. You know, it's talked about in the media quite a bit. The concept is thrown around, but the notion that there were in the past red lines that Washington imposed on various topics and various places in the world really promoted a level of security and stability. And what's happened is that, and we see this with the China ADIZ that was imposed over the Senkaku Islands, that tremendous miscommunication and conflict between our various leaders and departments like the State Department and like the Department of Defense have resulted in the American foreign policy, at least in the Asia-Pacific region, and of course we can see it with Syria and with Iran, as the concept of red lines has gone out.
2013 was a very interesting year. In my work on my Water for Life project, I became more familiar with the Pacific Islands, at least four of them, and gained a greater appreciation for some of the challenges they face around both issues of drinking water, but also around issues of science and STEM education in general. Huge sort of infrastructure issues that I had written about in my grant proposal, but actually sort of seeing them firsthand was really eye-opening. And in part, that's why I'm so excited to be starting doing a show here, because it's made me realize there's a real need for broad-based appreciation of what science and STEM learning can really do for everyone, and how science is really part of all of our lives, that it's something it's not just a subject that's taught in school or something that you do at some little set time of the day. It's there all the time. It's all around you in everything that happens to you, from spilling a cup of coffee to riding a bicycle and everything in between.
Reflections. In 2013, I went to Turkey and I wound up writing an article about all the trouble there. We were there at exactly the same moment as the trouble. And I realized that anyone can be a journalist, anyone can write an article, anyone can familiarize himself with things that take place anywhere in the world. Then I realized that our hosts here on Thinktech can do that too. So we are expanded, we are global, we are thinking globally. That's the model. And that has taken us a long way. In the past 6 months, we've expanded our operation to 20 shows a week and hosts that carry us in every direction on every issue in every discipline, and sometimes in multiple disciplines. So what we have is a global and multidisciplinary show. We meet the tension between being isolated and being connected. We are right there, examining, investigating that issue on every show. My revelation is that we can do this. My revelation is that we can find the guests. My revelation is that we can do Skype all over the world. My revelation is that we can do 20 shows a week. And it is a revelation that I didn't believe was possible. But look, now here we have it. Thinktech has gone to new levels this year, and I'm really delighted about that. It's a new chapter in my life and maybe in the lives of others who participate with us.
This past year surely has been eventful. What with Snowden's revelations about our government spying on us, the government shutdown, and, well, other exciting events. I think that at this time, more than any other, we can truly realize ourselves at the junction of many, many complex systems, which we have no idea how they're going to work out. As an entrepreneur, we see opportunity in this challenge, and I really look forward to this coming year, 2014, to see how all of us young millennials respond to these growing challenges that face not only our nation, but the world. And hopefully we'll get to outer space. So I have no resolutions. I just want to live in the way that I think expresses my deepest spirit and also brings the most joy and happiness to the community here in Hawaii, with hopes that we'll make a better future together.
2013 was a wonderful year for me.
I took a gift that my mother gave me when I was a child, which is the gift of music, and turned that gift around and gave the children of Hawaii in the hospitals, Kapilani Hospital, Kaiser Hospital, and Shriners Hospital, the gift of music. We have 22 musicians who go to the hospitals and play for the kids. And that to me was a wonderful, wonderful part of my year. Another thing that we did in 2013 is we started a program called You're in Charge. This was a program where foster kids received mentoring from me and some of my helpers, and we were able to give them a reason and a motivation to move forward with their life. I have to say that semi-retirement was not good for me. I flunked semi-retirement. It was not something I wanted to do, and taking the work away from my business and putting it into social activities, philanthropy, really gave me a purpose in my life. I have to give credit to all the musicians, to all the people that have come to You're in Charge and make them smile. People who, when I ask them to come and play, there's never any hesitation.
Regarding some of our resolutions and reflections for the up-and-coming year, I'm hoping to flesh out the Art of Life to make it slightly more interactive so you, the viewer, can certainly chime in and give me your opinions, whether that's on the internet, on Facebook. We'll be launching a new page as well as some contact information, follow-ups and information on our guests that are up and coming as well as those who've been featured in the past. I'm committed to making sure that our show is relevant, responsible, reflective, provocative, informative, and also featuring people who help prevent cultural erosion here in Hawaii, finding where the sacred and the politics intersect, the art as well as the intellect. These are the things that make for the Art of Life, and I certainly hope that you will continue to join us and watch us. Tell your friends about our show, stay involved and stay active. Imua.
First, let me say this, how delighted I am to be part of Thinktech Hawaii, because Thinktech, with Jay Fidel's leadership, is truly informing the world with great ideas, great concepts, and bringing great experts together. And I have the privilege each week of being able to interview some of these on E Hana Kako, which means let's work together. New Year's resolutions, well, for me, there are the personal ones, of course. I want to love my wife and children all the more. I want to become a better man in all that I do. I want to work out more at the gym. I want to eat less of the wrong thing and drink less of the wrong thing as well, and be somebody who contributes to what is good in Hawaii. But as part of Grassroots Institute, I do have a Christmas wish list, a New Year's wish list as well. As my friend Doug Bando put it, let's not look at Washington, D.C. as Santa Claus, but let's see what we can do together to build a greater nation and a greater world. First, when it comes to Hawaii, as well as the nation and the world, let's work for greater individual liberty for every person. I think we were designed to live as rulers of our own lives, people who make decisions and choices, and everything that affirms this in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States needs to be defended both for ourselves individually as we make our decisions, as well as for those in our neighborhood, our nation, and across the world. So individual liberty would be high on my list.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of the Arts in Hawaii on the Thinktech Hawaii digital series. And when I look back over the last year with this show, I am so very grateful for this opportunity. I've kind of come a long way in that I was scared out of my brain the first time Jay said, why don't you bring someone in, bring a guest in to talk? And I realized that I had this amazing opportunity to invite people I admire in to sit and talk with me, to be my captive audience for an hour. And my greatest reflection from this past year is that this is an awesome opportunity, and I don't want to take for granted a single second of it. My revelations have been, the revelation is that everybody comes in feeling as though this is going to be just another interview and they're going to promote something, and their film, their book, their magazine. And that's true. This is a platform for them to do that. But what really matters, what excites me the most, and I believe makes for the best interview, is when we get down into the meat of why we artists do what we do, because there's a great deal of sacrifice and a great deal of reward. It's selfless and selfish at the same time, and I find that immensely satisfying. And what I hear from people who are watching the show, they find it satisfying also.
We hope their comments have been useful for you and that you'll have a better idea about our hosts, about Thinktech, and what we've done in 2013 and what will happen in the year to come.
Next year, Thinktech plans to continue and increase the range and quality of its talk shows and to bring you better and better video content, all in hopes of raising your awareness about tech, energy, diversification, and globalism in Hawaii.
So we thank you for watching our work and development through 2013, and we look forward to getting to know you better in 2014. And beyond that, we wish everyone a happy new year in every way possible. Haole makahiki ho from all of us to all of you.
2013 was very noteworthy just for the rapid pace of change we saw. Almost every day there was something in the news and being talked about here at Thinktech that was really worth learning about and worth hearing the Hawaii perspective on. I think it's really going to be interesting to look forward into 2014 and, if all the changes that just started this year, changes in North Korea and geopolitics in Asia, changes in technology, Bitcoin, the local tech community and the entrepreneurs here, changes in our laws with marriage equality here in Hawaii, changes in society and what's normal now. Well, everyone's not doing Facebook and everyone's doing Snapchat and things like that. And it's going to really be interesting as we go forward to see what happens with all the changes that have been starting. What will we end up with? Will the legislative system be very different without the filibuster on some appointments? Will it make a difference? Who knows? But I think the changes have started, and it seems like we can't keep up with the pace of them. So it's going to be exciting to go into 2014. And I think in addition to the Hawaii perspective, it's wonderful that Thinktech is getting more of a global perspective now. With the help of Skype, we're communicating with people all over the world. And really, things are happening everywhere that I'm interested in and I want to hear more about.
I'm Maria Kashem. Happy New Year. Instead of a New Year's resolution, I want to tell you of my New Year's realization. 2013 was an extraordinary year of growth for me, more so than any other year I can remember, and I want to build on that for 2014. I could describe all of the ways I've grown and the lessons I've learned in the past year, but instead I want to report at the start of this new year that I've come to realize that my approach to managing my life, my jobs and career, my relationships, and my world must be the same and in focus, and that's what I need to work toward. I know I need to stay tuned and stay ahead and find a life of truth and love for the people around me. Like the natural cycles of the seasons and society itself, as my reality evolves and illuminates new levels of awareness for me, I know that I need to draw strength from each personal experience and to cross new boundaries every day. That's my realization and what I want to do, and that's the plan I want to share with you for 2014.
So personally, in 2013, my main focus was to learn more and really focus on school. And all the things that I learned in school, from graphic design to production and editing and writing, I want to take that into 2014, find my voice and essentially brand myself. And I'm so excited with this opportunity that I have with Thinktech, and I'm headed in the right direction. It's a great way to start 2014.
And now let's take a look at our Thinktech calendar of events going forward.
Thinktech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on Ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on Thinktech.
And now, here's our Thinktech news.
Aloha, reporting for Thinktech News, I'm Jenna Rodriguez. The Internet of Things has long been on the rise, but with the release of several online connectivity devices in 2013, the Internet of Things soared in prominence. These gadgets were geared toward making everything, even the security in your home, more useful and accessible. The newcomers this year included a company called Automatic, which makes a device that connects to your car's computer and sends its data to your smartphone to give you an image of how well you're driving. Meanwhile, new Microsoft software makes the smart devices in your home more powerful. Another big new thing last year was the rise of messages that disappeared after they're viewed. An app called Snapchat makes video or image self-destruct right after you look at them. The popularity of Snapchat shows that even as we share so many details on social networks like Facebook and Twitter, we want to give them only a short shelf life and keep them as private as possible. We also saw a new wave of wearable internet-connected gadgets, including smartwatches like Samsung's Galaxy Gear and fitness tracking devices like Jawbone's UP24. These devices work with smartphones and give you reports by voicemail and email. Although 900 million such devices were in use in 2009, Gartner estimates that the number will climb to 26 billion by 2020. On the other hand, the rise of the Internet of Things could lead to major compatibility problems. Also, the rapid growth of these devices is ushering in a new era of issues around data security. This will come into sharper focus in 2014. As we connect ourselves to more devices on the Internet, we are creating all kinds of new opportunities for intrusion, surveillance, and other malware. In any event, it ought to be an interesting year for the Internet of Things. Wonders never cease to amaze, especially in the social engineering fraud department. Now, since last September, there's been an incredible new fraud on the Internet. It's called CryptoLocker. It's a new genre of malware called ransomware. And here's the way it works. You get an email suggesting you click on what appears to be a PDF file with an attachment. You haven't heard about this, and you click. Then you find it's really an executable file, and the trouble begins. A CryptoLocker program is immediately downloaded that starts encrypting everything on your computer. It happens right in front of your eyes, which makes it all the more sickening. Your files are now tied up tight by a sophisticated encryption. The result is all the files on your computer are being held for ransom, and indeed, then you get a ransom demand. They tell you that for $300, they will give you a key to de-encrypt your files. The payment is made by prepaid bitcoins, or otherwise anonymous. Until last week, if you didn't pay them within 72 hours, you would lose your chance at de-encryption. Now, if you don't pay them within 72 hours, the price goes up 5 times. The problem is that this is totally invasive and involves not only personal files, but business and financial files on which your business may be dependent. If you don't play it right, you could lose them. It's mean, brilliant criminal social engineering. All you have to do is get sucked into clicking on what looks like an innocent link in your email, and you'll be out $300 and maybe much sorrier than that. So far, the FBI hasn't been able to stop them. Estimates are that these guys have already bilked people out of some $27 million. Wow, just when you thought it was safe to go outside again, you need to know that it's still a jungle out there. If the American NSA doesn't get your stuff, the Eastern European hackers will. So watch for suspicious email and don't click unless you know what you're clicking on. And now there's just another reason to back up your files. Not to the same machine, but to another machine or network, or to the cloud. The latest is that Norton and others say they have a fix that will allow you to de-encrypt the files. If you get hit, it's probably worth trying the Norton. But gee, at this point, I'd be careful clicking on any link you're not sure of. Reporting for Thinktech News, I'm Jenna Rodriguez.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of Thinktech. But first, we want to thank our underwriters.
Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates, Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island, are deeply committed to the communities they serve.
Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company.
The High Tech Development Corporation, the state's leading technology agency attached to the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism.
Castle and Cook Hawaii, with a time-honored legacy that spans more than 160 years and revolves around its mission of investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state.
Hawaii Gas, formerly the Gas Company, a proponent of the Liquefied Natural Gas Initiative, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future.
Collateral Analytics, a Hawaii-based tech company empowering the real estate industry with greater and faster access to the tools and data they need to make better informed property investment decisions.
The Foreign Trade Zone, operated by the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, encourages international trading in Hawaii and brings the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs.
Okay, Maria, that wraps up this week's edition of Thinktech. Remember, you can watch Thinktech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Jay Fidel does. For additional times, check out OC16.tv.
Totally, Duke. For lots more Thinktech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on Thinktech on OC16, visit thinktechhawaii.com, be an underwriter, a sponsor, or a volunteer, and help us reach Hawaii.
I'm Duke Oishi. Thanks so much for joining us on Thinktech. You can watch this show throughout the week and tune in next Sunday evening for our next important weekly episode. Aloha, everyone.
I'm Maria Kashem. See you next time.